Hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived. I have no objections.
Something you want to report? Be safe.
I've got application. You been to Clint's recently? He get crushed under all that crap yet?
Watch your step. That Sinead up at the Vanguard office, she's pretty good. Nearly convinced me to hand out recruitment materials for her, while I was on shift, too.
Salutations. Please ask the supervisor if you need something.
You're not the usual courier. Please tell me you're his replacement, and that you're just here to pay me a long overdue visit on his behalf. Are you now? Look, I'm expecting a very important package. Very important. What would you say to tracking it down for me? Quickly. I pay, and I pay well. Good. Let's get you on your way, then. Akachi Rosenblum, United Transport, Gagarin Branch. Now, please. Akachi, it's Helena, over at Reliant Medical. Your courier never showed. I need his stops for the day. This is my I don't care voice, Akachi. Oh. And what's your firm's policy on losing our branch as a client? I thought so. Send it to my personal slate. Thank you, Akachi. Here. All the places our courier might have gotten waylaid. She mentioned a panel or something that you can plug his ID number into at each delivery point. They should tell you if he's been there recently. The ID's 8148. When you do finally track him down, you can tell him you'll be completing delivery. Now go get me my package. Please.
I know a guy who just got a job at the Centauri Mills plant. Won't say what they pay, but his outfit's sure.
Apparently, the corporate execs are talking about building their own priority.
Courier 8148 detected. Error. You have already checked in at this drop-off location. Please resume standard route.
Gagarin's not an easy place to live. Nice to finally be getting some new neighbors.
Error. You have already checked in at this location. Please resume route.
You know who's really to blame for Gagarin's problems? The Freestar Collective. Who see wins the colony war. None of this ever happens.
You heading outside the city? Be careful. If the heat doesn't kill you, the critters might.
You've seen my place. Vagrants can have it.
I heard this story about a kid who was walking and he fell through the catwalks.
Back at last. Did you find the courier? And more importantly, my package? My God, dead? Well, I suppose that explains why my employee, Mr. Maximoff, disappeared so suddenly. And why the tracking beacon I installed on his ship was detected fleeing the planet. Here, your payment for finding the courier. It seems you've got some chops when it comes to investigation. What would you say to finding Mr. Maximoff for me? Seeing what he knows about where our data might have wandered off to. Oh, I'll be informing UC Security, but speedy results don't appear to be their forte. I need Mr. Maximoff tracked down and my package recovered, and I need it now. Can I count on you to handle that? Well, if that's how you feel about it, I'll just find someone else. You can see yourself out. Unless you've changed your mind and helped... Excellent. Mr. Maximoff, Bonifant, appears to have set down on another world here in Alpha Centauri, Hawley. Go there and see what he may know on the subject of our fallen courier and our missing data.
This thing you're wearing? It's kind of creeping me out a little. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I've got a lot of shipments to process still, so let's cut to the chase. Are you here to claim a shipment in storage, or do you have some other shipping concern? Did one of my robots wander off again? Was it something else entirely?
Outside my apartment at all hours of the day and night. I want them dealt with.
You'd be surprised. Gagarin's had a bit of a resurgence lately as an industrial hub. It seems like every week we're storing and shipping more and more cargo. That reminds me, if this keeps up, we're going to need more robots. What do you expect? Robots never get tired. They don't need brakes. They can carry heavy loads. They're faster and more efficient in every way for this kind of work. And if I'm being honest, I prefer their company. When you've spent most of your life in space away from people, you learn to trust technology more than humanity. Well, it's owned by Unified Transport. We employ a mostly robotic staff. Fewer mistakes that way. We do short-term storage, long-term. I guess that's pretty much it. It's a warehouse. We do shipping. Enough said. All right. Bye.
It's a hike. Get up. Remember what the horizon is.
In the sun, dust devils chasing us.
Share the catwalks, all right? I don't want to have to fish anyone else out of the canyon.
Our last head of security was a real hard ass. Now, if Chief Pretorius chews you out, you probably earned it.
Welcome to Clint's. Whatever you need, I'm sure I've got it lying around somewhere. Except mech parts. Don't trade those anymore, so don't waste your time asking. Refurbished a lot of the pieces myself. Gagarin. It was a military town until the end of the Colony War. Mechs were our specialty. Everyone always blabbers about Mars making the highest performance machines. But if you needed a system that wouldn't let you down in a pinch, You piloted a Gagarin, but that all dried up when the mechs were banned with the armistice. Now, we've got these new firms coming in. Arkmite, Centauri Mills, claim they're here to revitalize the city, which is funny, since their employees refuse to step foot in most of it. Plenty more competition for stores like mine, that's for sure. UC had a lot more money to throw around in those days. During the war, I couldn't keep the shelves stocked. At first, because of all the demand. But later, because the Freestar Collective flotillas were so damn good at picking off UC merchant craft. But the biggest difference now? The quiet. Not just because most of the forges and mines shut down. It was the testing. Firms used to drive their prototype mechs out into the canyons, way beyond the city. But you could still hear the guns all the way from here. It was like, shoo, thunder. So when the thunder stopped, well, so did Gagarin in a way. Good way to think about it. Hopefully I'll be around long enough to see the end result. Come back soon, eh?
The Terrabrew kiosk still busted? I swear last time.
Captain, it is pleasant to see you. You may. I have no concept of privacy. You may ask me anything. I am programmatically incapable of keeping secrets. Constellation has seen to it that I possess a near encyclopedic knowledge of human history, art, culture, and science. May I answer a question for you? I have been programmed to comprehend all modern and ancient human languages. The only exception is body language. My body is crafted from reinforced metal, and therefore incompatible with such forms of expression. Logically, I believe the correct answer to be the airplane, followed shortly by the computer. Humans could not have become a spacefaring species without them. Illogically speaking, I am inclined to believe that books were your greatest invention. I have spent a good deal of time processing works of science fiction. They make good case studies in how your species could have made a mess of its entry into the stars in different ways than you did in reality. I am looking at one. I hope that was a suitable response. Constellation did not equip me with a sense of humor. I have done my best to mimic Barrett's. This is a difficult question to parse. I do not experience enjoyment. However, I find that the music of ancient Japan has a pleasantly mathematical sound. The same is true of the works of European composers from the Baroque period. I have dedicated significant time to processing these compositions and understanding their structure. You are an exceptionally curious human. Constellation recovered me from an abandoned lunar robotics factory on Earth's moon, where I was manufactured. I am told I was in quite a state of disrepair. Barrett elected to refurbish me after the discovery. Since then, I have been reprogrammed to be useful to Constellation. That is correct. I am a first-generation Model A robot. As such, I was manufactured on Earth's moon. Modern lunar robotics products are manufactured elsewhere. Some data from my time on Earth's moon remains deep in my motherboard, but I do not frequently access it. Very little of what is in those files would prove useful to modern spacefarers. Constellation named me after the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama, who resided on Earth in the 15th century AD. He explored his home planet by way of its seas. Barrett tells me he was quite an accomplished explorer. I am inclined to believe it, as that is a compliment Barrett normally reserves for himself. Constellation is an exceptionally driven and intelligent group of humans. I would expect nothing less of them. My programming dictates that I must answer any question. That is a difficult question to parse. I do not experience human emotions such as enjoyment. However, I have been kept busy since Constellation acquired me. That satisfies my directive to be as helpful as possible for the duration of my existence. In a geographical sense, the Lodge cannot be missed. It is easily accessible from the New Atlantis spaceport, but I presume that you are using miss in this context to mean long for, in which case my answer is no. I long for nothing. Barrett, however, regularly complains about missing the Lodge's amenities during our travels. This has led me to the conclusion that it is a place worth missing. It would seem that spending an extended period of time in Barrett's company has resulted in an improved ability to calculate his speech patterns. Perhaps someday I will also be capable of emulating yours. Based on our previous encounters, this Lunar Robotics is a manufacturing company. They are most notable for creating Model A robots. Their headquarters was once located on Earth's moon. It was evacuated during the cataclysm that rendered Earth uninhabitable. Today, Lunar Robotics products are still found throughout the settled systems, myself included. It is impossible to read Barrett. He is neither a book nor a block of code. If you are asking for a summary of my observations on his behavior, I will provide one. My internal clock tells me that it has been years since Barrett and I began traveling together. I have traveled much of the settled systems in his company. Barrett has not shared many personal details with me. He finds me a poor conversation partner, despite repeated attempts on his part. I do not understand the concept of gossip. I have only seen Barrett kill his enemies. If you do not number among them, I surmise it was accidental. What you are suffering from is likely a bad first impression. I suggest consulting Barrett on the issue at once. Barrett tells me a bad first impression is the hardest thing to break. I believe that is because he has never tried to break a diamond. Based on my understanding of Barrett, I believe he would be flattered by that assessment. I find you to be a more measured and logical captain than Barrett. It would be quite difficult for another human to be more reckless than him. My likelihood of expiration due to corporeal destruction has been significantly reduced since coming aboard your ship. You should consider this a success. I am relieved that your curiosity has been satisfied.
Where are we going? What are we doing? What's next for me?
Scan for contraband. Scan completed. Welcome to Mars. You are cleared to land in Sidonia.
Good day, Captain.
You're looking splendid today, Captain.
Drive. Suppose that would explain the brownouts. So, what's this going to run?
If there are no other surprises, mid-5 figures.
5 figures? 5? Fine. Do it. I'll be at the bar. Find me when it's done.
We're on it, sir.
Elevators or stairs to reach the other levels, try to keep them clean. I hate filing murder reports.
How much money we spent to hitch a ride to this dusty red rock? We were told there were jobs.
Look, I get it.
Just because the governor's office is right out there on the main level doesn't mean
Get up with me. Sorry, but I have to get back to work.
Come on, forget it. Let's get out of here.
Maybe when the new
it's not too late
contracts
to catch a
finally
ride back
open up,
home.
you'll give it a go.
Screw this. I know you were counting on that Sidonian hazard pay. We'll find something else.
This life ain't easy, but it pays the bills.
Red and orange. Everything's red and orange. As far as the eye can see. We can start to
Detonation occurs in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Got cold beers and good atmosphere. That's all you can ask for.
Particle detonation concluded. It is now safe to resume normal activity.
The Lux condos aren't anything special, but plenty of people call them home.
The miners have a secret about something they call the Heart of Mars. I overheard them talking about it at the bar. Layla,
The city of Fredonia is proud to be a pillar of support for the United Colony. Seek your local Marine Corps if you wish to sign up for military service.
yes?
What's the word, Jack? I heard you were having a problem with customers.
The community center on P1 is a good place to connect with others.
Keep a lookout. Notify us if you see anything suspicious.
Sadonia's not so bad. Honest work, good pay. I can't go there.
Most visitors can't wait to get off this rock.
The office of Governor Hurst would like to remind all Sidonia citizens to do their part.
This here's the most important work in the galaxy.
Didn't think we had any new miners on account of the positions being full up. Oh, I wasn't worried. Concerned, maybe. Because we haven't had any positions open for a while. And some friends of mine were turned away recently. I just want to make sure nothing funny was going on. Anyway, I'm Layla. When I'm not mining, I'm tinkering with Gnome, our unofficial mascot. I fill that computer brain of his with all sorts of nonsense and announcements. Of course, if you're here to chat, I'm always happy to talk shop. Especially if you're interested in talking about the heart of Mars. Oh, so you're interested in the heart of Mars, are you? Word is there's a cave out in the Martian wastes with a gleaming node of the purest titanium ore you've ever seen. It's worth quite a lot of credits, but some say the heart of Mars is cursed. Hundreds have gone in search of it, never to return, and every one of them met a grisly fate. Maybe, just maybe, you could be the first to succeed, though. You know, if you think you got what it takes. No judgment if you're too scared. Because in Roman mythology, Mars was the god of war. His heart is cold, but tough like titanium. One of the miners started calling it that long ago, and the name stuck. Seems fitting enough. I know, cursed rocks and all. I don't know for sure if it's really cursed, but it's probably still dangerous out there, so be careful. I'll give you location of the cave. Good luck. Yeah, Gnome's been down here forever. He's also been broken forever. Can't actually walk or do work, and we don't have it in the budget to fix him. No one's had the heart to junk him. But when I started, I gave him new purpose. I programmed him to tell us local news and announcements. I modeled his responses after my own sarcastic sense of humor. It proved to be popular, so I did what any aspiring comedian would do and gave him a bunch of stupid jokes to tell. People love it. Or at least that's what they say. Very funny. Who sent you to ask? Was it Rivka? No, she seems to know what she's doing. I bet it was Hank, wasn't it? He always acts like he's top dog, but we all know he couldn't mine his way out of a wet paper bag. Yes. I remember that about you. You must work for a rival company. Well, if you think I'm going to divulge trade secrets, you got another thing coming. No, don't worry. I won't report you to management. We've all been there. But I'm not going to help you either. I like this job. I don't have any intention of losing it over something like this. This is only my second contract, so I think I've been here for 4 years now. It's great. I love it here. I'm working on getting those red eyes that are all the rage these days, you know. You'll hear a lot of these other chumps complaining about Sidonia. They say it's boring or dangerous or whatever. Look, I come from an iced planet. These people have no idea what they're talking about. Sidonia is practically paradise compared to where I grew up. You must have seen them around. Something in the Martian dust turns your eyes red if you work down here long enough. It's kind of a badge of honor thing around here. People know you're hot stuff when you got red eyes. Also, it freaks people who don't know about them. Except for little kids. They always seem to think it's awesome. Either way, it makes for fun social gatherings.
Leaving already. Subterranean particle detonation imminent. Be advised to secure loose articles and find stable ground or remain seated in the event of unforeseen tremors. Detonation occurs in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Particle detonation concluded. It is now safe to resume normal activity. Crews are advised...
Welcome, welcome. Nice to meet you. Name's Trevor, mining director for the Deimos mining project here in scenic underground Sidonia. I could spare a minute or two to chat, so long as you're not looking for mining work, I suppose. Argos, huh? Yeah, I've heard of them. That's great, but yeah, unfortunately all our mining contracts are filled right now.
Unless... maybe you could help me out with a job. Off the books.
Great! I promise it's nothing that'll get anyone in any kind of trouble. See, you might have noticed that our equipment ain't exactly holding together like it used to. Problem is, we can't get new equipment unless we start exceeding our quotas, and we can't do that until we get new equipment. A real dilemma, right? I've got a plan for solving our little problem, though. Okay, glad you're still on board. First, I need someone from the outside to bolster our yields so we can prove that we can exceed our quota. I'll fill you in on the rest of the details after you've hauled up some ore. One standard quota should do. I need to know I can trust you with the easy stuff first. When you've got enough, drop it off in the bin over there for processing. Then come see me.
Mining takes all types. Young upstarts, former military. Ex-cons. If you can lift the tool and haul ore, you can mine.
I'm under orders not to engage with non-personnel.
Yeah, you're right. Sure.
Consider this unit always on the job.
Subterranean particle detonation imminent. Be advised to secure loose articles and find stable ground or remain seated in the event of unforeseen tremors. Detonation occurs in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Particle detonation concluded. It is now safe to resume normal activity.
Not having any trouble mining the ore, are you? Okay. I can see you're serious about it. Great. Now, the next part is a little trickier. Our Director of Mining Operations, Peter Brennan, fired his last assistant over a month ago. Peter's the only one who can approve the order for new equipment, and unfortunately, he's useless without an assistant. I think I've got a surefire way for you to get that job. Then you, as his assistant, can get him to sign off on the approval. You don't think I've tried? Like I said, the guy is literally useless without his assistant. I don't even know if he knows how to actually use a computer. And everything Deimos does is so mired in bureaucracy because of their contracts with the UC. Which means, unfortunately, we need to do all the things by the book if we want them done at all. Now hold on, it's not that easy. You'll need to apply for it like anyone else. Head to the Deimos Star Yard's office up in orbit to fill out the application. It's where that job is posted. Come back and see me when you've done that, and we'll talk about how to secure the position for you.
Only employees of Deimos Star Yard's mining division are authorized to mine resources in and around Sidonia. It is your civic duty to report any unauthorized mining to Sidonian security.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
Sidonia can have a depressing effect on some. The miners pretty much run the lower levels here. Careful near the railings on the upper levels. It's a long way down.
Hello, Captain.
Oh my god! I'm literally following in.
not blame
informal
you.
greeting, but I am
Dr. Salvati, how long
dissatisfied
has it been
with the
here?
results.
Out of here now, Doctor.
And in that year, how many times have we had this conversation about late or missing shipments of supplies?
I believe this is the third time.
Yes, that sounds right. 3 times. I will be making it very clear to your superiors that lives are at stake, and the clinic requires reliable transport. If your company cannot meet our needs, someone else will.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Thank you, Dr. Salvato. You may return to your duties. Welcome to the clinic. I'm Dr. Darvish, Chief of Medicine. Is there something I can do for you? Are you? Because I don't have any appointments scheduled. We have a particular focus on astrovirology here, so the patients we take on tend to have unusual cases that require long-term care, and sometimes require unorthodox or experimental treatments. We have an excellent track record that speaks for itself, but it doesn't leave room for much else. Whatever business you may be here for, I trust that you will conduct it quickly, and do so without interfering with my staff or our operations. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of new worlds that humanity has set foot on. While many don't host some sort of life, there are more than enough that do. Any one of those worlds could be inhabited by all manner of pathogens, things we've never seen and have no idea how to treat. Someone has to try and stay ahead of what could be a very deadly curve. Here at the clinic, we do our best. If we do it right, no, not usually. An abundance of safety protocols are in place, and we have decades of experience. Ironically, this may be one of the safest environments in the settled systems. Would you now? Well, I suppose we could always use additional research specimens. The more data we have about what's out there in the settled systems, the faster we can diagnose novel illnesses. In theory, at least. I suppose we could consider you an independent contractor of sorts. There are naturally occurring antimicrobials in both alien flora and fauna that we can learn from. If you can provide some additional samples, there are credits in it for you. What we're looking for are basic organic substances. They could come from any number of flora or fauna on countless worlds across the settled systems. Just keep your eyes open as you travel and harvest things when you find them. Or frankly, if you can find them at a reasonable price somewhere, purchase them. I'm less concerned with the source than the materials themselves.
Thanks for delivering critical supplies would be nice to hear once in a
Hello.
while.
I will see you at a later time.
I'm doing an oral history of Constellation's most decorated
slowly and turn around. Try to run and we open fire. So, what was your plan, Machine? Smuggle the Aurora into the King City or New Atlantis?
No, I just forgot I was carrying it, so honest mistake, right? Just settle this right here. I can make use.
We don't make the rules. That's Administrator Bailey's job. Now, shut up and stop walking.
Move it. Let's go.
Clover over at Kelp Corp. She's too good for Neon. Sounds like she's trying to help someone or something. Honestly, I kind of tuned her out.
ATMs are spread throughout the settled systems, so you can do your banking here. You know the power of harmony. Each of our unique Starship models is expertly crafted. Hey there, trees help you get there. Fill out an application today to become part of our advanced technology. Pop on in till the grass liquor.
Welcome to Ryujin Industries. Can I help you? You must be one of the candidates that Imogene Salzo is interviewing today. Her office is down the hallway to my left. Take another left at the conference room, follow it around to the right and up a small flight of stairs. Then take a left and keep heading that way until you see her office. Sounds like a maze, right? So if you want me to walk you back there or have any questions, just let me know. Of course, follow me. This current floor we're on is the main operations level. It's where the grunt work happens for this department. Research, data entry, more busy work than you can stand. Most of the people here are technicians that report to Yuka, but there's a handful of operatives that report to Imogen. And here we are. Good luck in there.
Great.
I'll probably
A
see you on your way
full
out.
spacesuit. Corporate environments aren't that toxic. Have a seat. All right, just to get a few things straight here. I'm Imogen Salzo, Senior Operations Specialist here at Ryujin Industries. I don't normally do this, but my counterpart Yuko is indisposed at the moment, so here I am. We're looking for someone to fill an entry-level administrative position. Apparently, our algorithm has failed us and believes you to be a decent match, which I'll take up with our technicians later. So, let's get this over with. Why do you want to work for Ryujin Industries? I can appreciate an honest answer. And if you're hired, you'll be making far more than just a few credits. Provided you're successful, of course. This next one should be interesting, considering you marked having 0 experience. Why do you consider yourself qualified for a job like this? A bold answer, and hopefully one with truth behind it. How motivated are you to succeed? All in, huh? At least that's an attitude we can work with here. And finally, my last question. If you worked here for 5 years, what role would you see yourself in? I'd say that's reasonable and not outside the realm of possibility. So look, since there's a million other things I'd rather be doing than this, not to mention that this isn't even my job, you're hired. On a probationary period, of course. First order. There's a meeting starting soon, and I need you to pick up the coffee order at Terra Brew. Fairly easy, so you shouldn't be able to screw it up. If there's a line, skip it. Tell them you're here for Imogen Salzo, and you should get served right away.